One of the things in training that has the most controversy is spine training. So you have camps like Stuart McGill who will say basically not really this extreme, but pretty close. Like you should never bend your spine, you should never flex or extend your spine. It's bad for your spine. And his research has kind of been called out a few times by people. Like he did his research on dead pig spines. So obviously a pig, a four-legged animal spine is a little bit different than a bipedal human that stands on two legs. And then a dead spine is different than a living spine because living tissue can adapt where dead tissue cannot. So his research has kind of been called out a little bit. Some of the stuff he does is good, and I'll kind of get into the nuances a little bit. Hopefully I'll make it quick. But the other camp is basically like gymnastic training or other strongman stuff where you have guys lifting hundreds of pounds with rounded spines. You have people doing Jefferson deadlifts and back bridges and side bends with maybe 100 or more pounds. And for most people, the sweet spot's kind of in between. So I definitely really don't like McGill's stuff very much. Basically the camp, the functional camp is like, oh, your spine is not meant to move. It's meant for stability. So all you're going to do is side planks and front planks and bird dogs and all this stuff to strengthen your spine to not move so it can transfer force. And obviously in the real world, your spine is going to move. You really can't do any type of sports movements or any other type of movements without your spine moving. And yes, we want the hips to be strong, we want the shoulders to be strong, and at times we want the spine to be rigid so that it can transfer force. But in a lot of movements, your spine has to be strong. So think of it this way. So your spine can extend quite a bit of ways, and I'm not super flexible, but your spine has quite a bit of extension, and it has also a ton of flexion. And also lateral flexion, rotation. The spine can move in a lot of different ways. And if it wasn't designed to move, if it was just designed to be a stiff structure that just transfers forces from the hips and the shoulders, we probably wouldn't have so many joints, and we probably wouldn't be able to move in so many different ways because evolution would just say, hey, like this thing's supposed to be stiff, and why do we have all these articulations and joints here? Why do we have so many different ways it can move? Obviously the spine needs to move in a lot of different ways. And people that have back pain, like I had before, I had a trampoline accident trying to do a backflip when I was younger, and I hurt my back. And you know, being a workout junkie, it's bound to happen. Like you get the little tweaks, or you know, you'll pull something in your back and you'll be out for a couple days. And this over time kind of teaches your brain and your body to like be careful, especially when your spine is hurting. You know, you are keeping that neutral spine. You're like, oh god, you know, to get down and tie your shoes, you're like, okay, I gotta get into a squat. I gotta keep my spine straight, and maybe you're holding on to something to unload the spine while you do it, and then you're standing up and you can't, you know, just go like this because that pressure going through the spine is too much and it's gonna hurt, so you gotta use your arms to help you up and stuff like that. That's when your spine is hurt, and then when you're back to normal, you should be able to do all these different things pain-free, all these different movements. But what happens a lot of times, especially when people are telling you, hey, don't round your back when you're doing stuff, don't move your back, don't lift heavy weights with your back, or even moderately heavy weights, your brain just kind of shuts the area down. You know, you get a little scared, you're tying your shoe, you know, you drop a quarter on the ground, you pick it up, your brain is like, oh god, don't hurt my back, I better have a nice neutral spine, braced core and everything. And doing this all the time is like putting the freaking emergency brake on your car, and you're always doing this. You're never strengthening a rounded spine, you're never strengthening an extended spine, you're never rotating. You know, if you want to rotate to the side and pick something up and you're thinking, oh god, I'm gonna hurt my back, you're gonna go like this. Oh, lift with my legs, lift with the legs, don't want to hurt my back. And over time, your back is going to weaken. And I've kind of come to this conclusion over the last few years. I kind of got away from all that functional stuff and all planks, all pal-off presses, all wood chops, all this stuff where you got to keep a braced, rigid core. And Not that that stuff's that bad. You might want to sprinkle that in here and there, get good at that. You might want to at least make sure you're proficient in that. But after you can hold a plank for a minute or two, there's really no benefit in doing it all the time, doing it longer durations. And I've mixed in some type of training like I'm going to show you here, and my back has never felt better. I'm strong in a bunch of different directions, and I've kind of removed that like mental emergency brake where you're like, oh God, I'm bending over and I'm twisting. I'm going to hurt my back for sure. And after doing this workout for a long time, well, probably 3 or 4 months now, after doing it for enough time, you kind of train your mind to be like, hey, that's fine. I can bend over, I can rotate, I can do stuff, because you're strong in those positions. Your brain is saying, hey, we're fine, we can handle it. So all of these movements here I'm going to show you are with a 25-pound medicine ball. If you don't have a medicine ball, you can hold a kettlebell, you can hold a dumbbell, you can hold something like that. And if you're just new to this, or if your back hurts, I would recommend doing it actually without any weights to start. And then when I started doing these, I started doing a 6-pound medicine ball, and once I got pretty good at that, I moved up to this 25-pounder. And that's kind of a leap. You might not want to make that leap, but I've been lifting for a long time. I do a lot of different stuff, so I kind of have a good baseline level of strength there. So it's a little bit easier. You know, if you're deconditioned, if you haven't done a lot of working out, definitely start slow at these. Start with lower reps. But I'm going to take you through this workout now. I'm going to do 15 reps on everything here. So 4 different movements, 15 reps each. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to bear hug this, rotate out, and then in, touch the wall, rotate back out, and touch the top of the wall. That's 1. 2, 3, 15. Okay, now I'm going to go the opposite way. Do the same thing on this side. Okay. Now I'm gonna go to basically a Jefferson curl. So I have my feet a little bit wider than shoulders. Come down, round my back, have a soft bend in the knees, touch the ball to the ground, come up, and then extend. So don't just come up to straight here. Extend back. 1, Now, I'm gonna go kind of like a little bit of a short stance, rotational lunge here. And I'm gonna kind of turn this foot facing forward. This one, I'm gonna point a little bit that way. And I'm gonna rotate down here and then come back. And then same thing over here. All right, then last up, I'm gonna do the forward fold, but only with my upper and middle back. So I'm not gonna bend at the hips. I'm just gonna come down here. And that's it. Definitely get a good like static bicep, forearm, and shoulder work too, just holding that ball there. So that's my back circuit. I usually just run through it once, a couple times a week. Like I said, if you're new to this, start out with no weight or maybe a light medicine ball, like my 6-pounder I started out with, and maybe just start with 5. You know, you do 5 and then come over, do 5 of the other, and then maybe take a break in between. Don't run through it all at once until you get stronger. Add in a few reps, maybe shorten the rest periods in between them, so eventually you can go up to a heavy ball and you can run through it all without taking any breaks. I don't really have any interest in getting tons stronger with this. You know, I'm not gonna go buy a 50-pound medicine ball and be like, oh man, I gotta work up to being able to do this. Although it'll probably be good, but I think this really hits your back in multiple different areas. You get a good pump, you get good endurance work, and you get good strength work too. So this will make you as strong as you need to be for any type of normal everyday activities. If you want to take it to the extreme, if you want to do some strongman stuff, if you want to really strengthen your back and just, you know, take it to the extremes of human performance, maybe you want to go heavier than this, but it's really not necessary to have a strong, healthy back and to live a good, pain-free life. So hopefully you enjoy this workout. Let me know what you think in the comments if you do this, and if you have any comments on the functional fitness Stuart McGill, your core should never move and just be strong at not moving. If you have questions about that or any thoughts on that you want to throw into the conversation, feel free to give me a comment about what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next video.